always try to record the meeting, so we try to keep that as a public information that anybody can check, see what we have to say. Yeah, also have access of meeting minutes. We upload the video onto the YouTube. There's a channel over there. So if you want to check it out, you can do so. With that said, I want to just go through the agenda really quick and really sure, confident Mark is going to try to find a way to join this. And okay. As before the meetings, I want to just share with everybody, say here, give me 1 second. Allow me to do this one more time. Okay. Apologize. I will do the easy thing. Just share this. And you guys will see me turning my head to the other side to look at my other screen, but it will help to get it going this way so I can still see you guys when I'm really talking. To start with, I want to mention that our mission, if you have not seen that before, I know at least one has not seen that before. It is posting on our website, and it is what we determined joined back in 2018 as a chair at that time. Ask the question and find out we don't have one, but now we have. And in 2020, we also set our long-term vision. So our mission is nurturing the future workforce by providing practical and hands-on STEM experience for local youth. And our long-term vision is all students in the greater Charlotte area are equipped and prepared for their future path. I was talking to someone today and because our mission as well as our vision, I explained to them to say, we are really more like a workforce development, starting from the middle school, try to push people into the business, try to help people to develop the young talent. So that is really what we try to do. And we using the after school program to develop our students so they can become a future talent. Okay. With that said, you can see, you can read as well as I can, or even better. So I'm now going to read. Our top priority is increase awareness and the recruit. The top priority initiative, the project we need to do is we need to continue to increase the impact. We still need the director, especially if anybody knows somebody with legal background or HR background, we can use those kind of help. So keep your eye here and try to help us. Christian?
Yeah, so our director of HR or HR manager at MHI is willing to help us as needed as well. So
super. So please help me.
And I have a new parent. I have a new parent that's an attorney. I brought this to his attention, and he said he may. Obviously, that's the kind that legal help that we might need is not his expertise, but he knows enough that he may be able to help depending on time commitment.
Super. So please send that information to me through email and introduce me virtually, and I will get the ball rolling. That's wonderful.
Got it.
Um,
By the way, I'll be on till about 5:45, and then I have to go inside for my appointment. So.
got you. So let me just push through quickly. I want to mention everybody, and if you can see over here, the revenue source. So that I scroll at the top of the screen. If you read that one, you will see some of the comment. I am going to start using those language. We are looking for the corporate grant sponsorship. We are looking for foundation grant and application, and we're also looking for service for fee, and that's where our revenue come from. We are going to use more. But another thing I am going to put on for next month is the business model. We actually has 3 segments as well. One is really is our core business, which is where we run the QCRA, where we support our team. And we need to start to find a program, like after school program, start a general revenue. That is something we will talk about and to talk even more for 2022 plan and moving forward. Then we are talking about a grant. That's something I got really excited with Christian just mentioned about the bill ship model he has engaged in doing in the past. So we want to leverage the best practice, understand what they did in the past, and see what we can use and we can adopt. With that said, the first agenda item, you can see the agenda. I'm not going to read through. There's a 20 minutes updates. We are going to talk in detail. Let me just scroll down, start to just go dive into the core of the business. So I am going to stop share right now so Christian can see everybody's face. So Christian, as I mentioned, and all the voting member has a vote. In this particular case is 100% approval. Yay. So I want to introduce Christian to everybody. He is our newest member, newest board member. With that, I say I want to just go around my room, my screen. I am going to call your name and asking you to introduce yourself. But Christian probably know me by now. We meet a couple of times. So so I'm going to skip introduce myself. How does that sound? Rich, can you start? You are mute, Rich.
Bingo.
Yep, sorry about that. She could be accommodated, acclimated to that by now. But anyway, Christian, we've met briefly before. I'm Rich Gabriel, the next to youngest board member. And it is a pleasure to meet you and to have you on board. Excited about what you've already brought to the table. And I'm looking forward to seeing how QCRA will expand and grow in the near future.
Excellent. Thank you.
I think on my screen, next one actually happened to be Mark, and it looked like you fix your team problem. But you are on mute. Mark, you are on mute too.
Yep, sorry. I'm having all kinds of problems here. Hey, I'm Mark Rollinger. I am with Bosch Rexroth. I'm a program manager there for strategic technical developments, and included in that is workforce development as part of what I do for them. And I've been with QCRA here for, well, since 2000, I can't remember now, 13, 14-ish. I'm also on the board for First North Carolina for a number of years. And currently I'm the vice chair, mainly, supporting Kai Wynn in both of his roles.
Excellent. Nice to meet you.
Same here.
And I know quite a few people from Bosch Rexroth, including, do you know Mark Bougie?
Oh yeah, yeah, he's our director of sales. Yeah. Yeah, worked with him for a long time. Good.
Yep.
So next in line is Stacy.
Good afternoon. My name is Stacy Roberts. I'm an industrial engineer. I run a plant in High Point. I've been on the board since I think January or February of this year, so I'm a new board member as well.
Excellent. Nice to meet you.
Gretchen is the next.
Unmute. Okay, hi. I have, yes, check. I have been on the board for a very long time, since I think February of this year, but it's been a fun ride since then. I work for Lowe's. I'm on the Innovation Labs team there. I do marketing for the Innovation Labs, and it's kind of like a startup within a major organization. So I lead some of our projects and do all sorts of things. I get to do everything. So
Excellent.
I like to say it's a startup with the red tape of a big organization. So, but yeah, I feel like I've seen a lot of change at QCRA in the 6+ months that I've been on the board. So excited to see where we go from here.
Great. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I hope the changes are
This is
good.
not
Good changes.
Spotify.
Yes.
Paul, you're next.
Hey, Christian, he's going to get up and leave with me, you know.
Alexa, stop.
Hang on one second. My
That
Alexa has
robot.
gone off for some reason.
Technology is wonderful when it works.
I don't know what happened. It's never done that before. It just all of a sudden started playing Spotify.
Oh,
was
you probably
weird.
hear we are talking about robotics, and she just want to join.
So you
Yeah.
did you do something, Gretchen? Did you make that happen?
I have this magical power, yes.
I was going to say it's Gretchen's melodious voice that
Yes.
they responded to. Hey,
I'm
Christian,
I'm wearing headphones.
yeah. Chris, my name is Paul Rafferty. I am probably about a year, Kaiwen, right? I am a fractional vice president of sales. So I work with 3 or 4 startups or small business at any point in time, helping them get traction. It's a lot of fun.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Paul. Sorry about jumping out of my
That's okay.
seat as you started.
People usually do that when I start talking, you know, they get up and leave. And
So, Christian, so you know, during the meetings, I also invite a couple more active volunteer, which we call the management team, quote unquote management team. They are volunteers. And Robbie just sent a text to me that he wants to join, but can't due to a work conflict. And as I mentioned earlier, you did not see Dave, which is another board member. The other 2, Teresa is a very active volunteer that worked with me, and she is on a personal trip, so she's not here. So the last person that will introduce herself is Ayala. She is really helping the majority of the administration business side of the business with me or for me, depending on how you see. So Ayala, you need to unmute too.
I'm muted. I'm not gonna talk with it being off. My name is Yayala. I have been with QCRA since the beginning in one shape or another. Did not really take major things on until 2019, right? Is that right, Kylan? 2019?
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay. That sounds about right. I've been with the team that started QCRA, which is a FIRST Robotics team that's at the high school level, Yeti. I'm the marketing mentor for that team and also the alternate lead mentor with Robbie. And I would have to agree with Gretchen. Although Gretchen did not see all the changes since 2019, but I would say that everything that has happened has been only positive, and it's pretty exciting to see. And to know that it's helping not only QCRA, but the teams that are under the umbrella of the nonprofit. And that's really the excitement that we feel. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. Nice to meet you, Ayala.
So, Christian, so everybody see your bio a little bit and when we send out for voting, but why don't you just add a little more and just share with everybody anything that I did not write in. You see the draft.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks, but yeah. So yeah, Christian Dow. I moved to Charlotte to work with MHI back in January of 2020. So I just moved and I just live over in the Vineyards, which is near Belmont, so on the west side of town. But prior to that, I was a member of MHI for a while, really since 2007. Started working with them as a member. And so it's kind of been a natural fit for me to come over here. But while I was in Colorado, I was the last role I had was president of Panther Industries, but I got to work with the STEM school Highlands Ranch. And so and it was honestly a lot of fun and a lot of we kind of did some things that were really kind of different and out of the box that they hadn't done before and stuff. And so it was really interesting just seeing what can happen in education and with programs like they have in this. I think we have a similar opportunity, and you guys have obviously taken this pretty far already, but it's just exciting to be able to be part of something here in Charlotte as well. And the thing about STEM School Highlands Ranch is kind of like this program. It was not burdened by the education system because it was a charter school and their board could change curriculum on the fly. And so it wasn't burdened by this is the way we've always done it kind of processes and things like that. So we were able to make a difference and do some things and move quickly and stuff. So that's really what's exciting about this. And so we started a mechatronics program that now has, I think, 90 kids in it that are going through a Pathways in Technology program, which starts in high school, and they're able to take up to 2 extra years of high school for free to complete an associate's degree and their high school diploma, and also come out with certifications such as the FANUC technician and FANUC robotic technician, PMMI mechatronics certifications, and we had about 8 or 9 other certifications that we stacked on as well that we would find funding for students to take the test, but the curriculum would cover it. And so not only would they come out of with the associate's degree, they came out with a lot of certifications that were actually meaningful to industry. So on top of that, we started doing the building ships, which really started getting into other industries, starting getting into healthcare and leveraging relationships with Lockheed Martin and getting into aerospace and Denver Water and Denver International Airport and things like that, and really just unlocking all these opportunities for different for kids that had different interests rather than just going down the mechatronics path. So it was really kind of a neat set of programs that we put together. So
super. So that's also the things and people can see during my nomination to talk about the building ship type of things. When Christian explained to me the first time, I just say we are really trying to do the same thing in different format with different constraint. Later on, we will talk more about that. We have a meeting coming on Thursday. Mark is the one introduced. We are going to work with the CMS CTE. So for if you don't know the term, that's career technical education, similar stuff. They get a certification. The CMS county pay for the certification. Student can certify even before they graduate colleges. So the question is how we attract students and help them to find out their potential, what they like. So pretty excited. Now, as usual, we have more agenda that we can cramp in the 90 minutes. So I'm going to just move us along. As soon as I can figure out how to share exactly the one I want to share properly. I think I did this time. On the screen, you should be able to see our balance sheet. As usual, I like this 13 months balance sheet information, as I believe, as no matter what kind of business you're running, it is critical to understand the financial situation and to know how far you can stretch. So, as I mentioned, there's a lot of information on the meeting minutes. You can take a look and shoot me the email, and I try to reach out individually, try to stitch everybody together. So if you got a question I did not cover, just send me an email, we can talk other time. So let's start with this balance sheet. One thing I want to point out is you look at the same time last year, we have twice as much asset. That's just a long story short. You guys can take a look in the detail. I want to make sure everybody know the unique situation we are in is we also holding the team's money. One of the team we have is BOW, Bus on Wheels. They are their own 501c3, so we don't touch them. Other team, FTC team, they usually behave like a pass-through. We get their money and we just distribute the money out. At the end, it does not have a huge impact on the asset. We do hold the asset for YATI, and from tax purpose, they are considered as, when we do a tax reporting, everything, they are include loan store. So with that, I say you can see there's a line item and a separate YATI. YATI is improved as well from year to year, so there's their assets improve. So overall, we are as a community, we are improving. That is just a good story. The reason I also explain all this business is so you can see the high level. I opened two, so here's the detail, but it's just so much information. Let's just look at the highlight. So I hope they will still share properly. If just looking from, need to make this go away and fit. So our income, you don't see this on the screen, but last year when we filed tax, this number is 103. So right now the year to date and the rolling 12 is 138. I know there's another $11,000 just come in 2 days ago, 3 days ago. So this number is going to grow higher and growing to more positive. And we also have the net profit, net income that is just building up to the vision I share with the board. Say we want to have enough net income to a degree we feel confident we start hiring the full-time employee, because we want to prove we can pay for their salary before invite somebody to dive in. The next position, that person who is going to take the pay, probably my situation is lucky, and we have to have a full-time employee in order to apply for the grant. For those of you who don't know, a nonprofit organization, when you apply the grant, they're just asking you, do you have an employee? If you say, no, everybody's volunteer, you actually fail, not disqualified to apply the grant. So that's a situation that the question I'm asking myself is that who can be the full-time employee, but willing to not get paid? So eventually that become me. So I got paid a little bit. The key point is next person, we have to find a way to pay this person properly. Depending on the position we are going to open, it's going to be a guarantee. We have to have a net income of 60K or higher in order to, that we can clear our conscience to ask somebody to take the full-time job. So we are still a long way to go. But we are getting more positive because same time last year, this same time, if you're looking at 2019, we are actually negative. So that's a good thing. We are positive 26, even with paying out some of the salary. Okay, any question from the finance standpoint? You have this financial report you can open anytime, take a look in detail. And I really want to invite everybody, take a very close look and challenge us about how we run QCRA. Okay. Question, comment so far?
Nope.
So I am going to, knowing there are some of you have to jump off on the call. So I want to kind of change the sequence that for those of you join on time, and I think most of you heard about Gretchen has a meeting with a bunch of panelists to talk about run the show and the whole good thing. Thursday, and Ayala, you will receive another email. I try to do that sometime today as well, tonight, is we have a meeting talking about, if you look at the activity here, pioneering skirts. So I want to make sure everybody try to invite as many people as possible. If you are on LinkedIn, you should see the trailer I post on LinkedIn. So please look for either my posting or QCRA's posting. Try to encourage as many people to join as possible. It's on Thursday. A good thing about we have this meeting just at this time is we also, during the Microsoft Give month that I am going to talk more later, and they are using this event in my Microsoft employee to join. And by join this event for 2 hours, they actually qualify as $25 an hour, $50 donate to QCRA, but they have to remember to assign that to us. But key point is there's activity they can do that. So make sure you got a link, click into, you can open the trailer, you can share either YouTube trailer or what's the website name? M-I-N-E-O, Nemo? Not Memo, Nemo, Vimo, Vimo or something. So you can share those trailer with your friend. What I noticed is last time I mentioned that to Microsoft people, I just talking about say we want to share this movie, talk about gender inequality, using that as starting a conversation, talk about inequality. I got body language I see on the call. Body language is kind of a little bit, yeah, sounds good. And then I shared it with them about the trailer. They just look at the trailer and say, I definitely interested. So that is my base. Talking about the trailer is going to help us to get people engaged on Thursday. So if we can talk and get into really, that is also something we want to gauge to see if we want to have our own event to get the conversation going, using it as a prop and have more conversation to the degree that we can be the guest for certain company to talk about their DEI initiative. That would be the ideal. So invite more. What I mentioned to about Ayala is I am going to send an email to all the lead mentor to invite the student to join. This is really PG-13, so we want to have a student get engaged and have a conversation at the same time as well as a family. So if you know people, school teacher, they want to have their class watching at the same time, 2 thumbs up. Okay.
Got it.
So move along forward to the action plan. So this portion I will read through really quick, just briefly. There's there's additional opportunity showing up. We are talking with the CMS, and we are also talking with Park and Recreation center. So for those you maybe join, you might remember that we have an event at the Tuskegee, and that's really doing pretty well. Then their superintendent just send an email to me to say, hey, can you guys do a same kind of similar type of STEM program for all our 18 rec center? So that's we are continuing to have that conversation. One of the idea is we really want to set up like FRL using a class pack type of material that will actually set up a STEM program at the recreation center, so kids can go there and learn how to code, like 12 weeks type of program. And that will be something I'm going to asking for the approval from the board member, the voting board member, to say, I want to move forward on something, including spending money to get a legal process going. I can anticipate the answer, but I want to make sure that official, and we will talk more on the park and recreation down below. Here is next focus. All this red portion is all the activity coming up. Microsoft Giving Month is running in the background right now. We have somewhere around 7 Microsoft employee inside Microsoft try to push the internal conversation. So hopefully we got even more volunteer. By the way, I don't know how many Microsoft employee we actually got as a volunteer so far. I don't have exact time, but for individual I know engaged is number right now. The number is breaking 7. So that is really a high number for all things considered, especially every hour they volunteer for us, they can designate $25 to the team or to QCRA. So this is really wonderful things. And absolutely nothing wrong for you guys to try to beat the number from your company. Like get us 20 volunteers, that would be a good thing. Okay, so Pioneer and Skirt moving screening this Thursday, I just mentioned. The following 2, you probably have not heard a whole lot. Moonlight on Main in Belmont is their local festival. They actually invite Tech World Gastown is one of our partner. They want to have a robot demo, so they ask us to bring our robot over. We have a confirmation from BOW who is reaching out. I think BOW and Yati, they have a conflict of event. And my last comment is they will find a way to bring at least 1 FRC robot, if not 2, and to show up.
I got confirmation.
Yep.
I've got confirmation. BOW will be doing that event, and we will take their girls and go to Cary to do the Doyen All Girls competition on Saturday.
Okay, so we will have at least 1 robot there, and the Taco Terminator will bring the FTC robot show up at the same time. So we will have one big one, 1 small one, together with their own Tech World, their own summer robot camp. They also have somebody else showing up, so we will be there. If you got time, stop by, talk to the students, and have fun, because it's a festival with all kinds of cars, everything. If you have nothing to do, no plan on Saturday, bring your family, bring your little one to show up as well. And when you are there, make sure stop by to talk with our student and let them know you are the board member.
What time, Kaiwan?
The event is really long. We will show up. I think we will show up. We will be there somewhere around 2 to 6 or 2 to 5. So show up 3 to 4 o'clock will be good time. Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
Stand on the Wing is invitation from Carolina Raptor Center. Autonomous Rec will show up in the afternoon. I cannot remember exactly what time is that. And this is interesting. And because the space limitation, we kind of pull back that our FRC team is not going to be there on November 6th. So we will have one of our FTC team in the afternoon, and we also have a community team from Waxhaw. They are going to show up in the morning. So we just continue to have all this robot outreach with us, our own internal people, as well as people in the neighborhood. Robot demo, Ivory Baker Recreation Center, November 13 in the afternoon. We are starting doing Giving Tuesday that we are going to show a little bit later. If you can see, we try to create a gift to kind of encourage people for donation, as well as if they can, they are willing to donate enough and get a gift, then we can have them as our working compound, working commercial to share with our message. We will talk more on that, what we plan to do for the Giving Tuesday. And we are going to start getting busy to prepare for Arts and Science Council grant one more time for next season, opening January. And we will talk more about how we want to apply. Once as we kick off this paid program, what we want to do is really apply the grant to have Arts and Science Council. We can use the grant to pay the student to join the program free. We will have more, and take a look, and you want to reach out to me for additional information. This is just update for the master slide deck. If you go to the QCRA board folder, you can see my screen right now. You go to presentations, you can see a bunch of pitch deck. Every time I update, with major update, I change. So I am starting to talk about prepared material for 2020. If you want to do a presentation today, you can grab the 2021 OA. You can do that. I believe you would be also fine to grab the latest one, but I just want to let you know we are going to put more information, is more forward-looking in 2022. My recommendation is to grab that one and cut that down to what you need. We have all kind of information there for all the potential presentation you might need. So you will have more slides than you have to have. So my suggestion is, once you know when you want to use a slide, go in, look at the pitch deck, and delete the one you don't want to use. One more thing, if you look here, QCRA intro deck, I did exactly that for a request from United Charlotte. United Way Charlotte. So that's a cut down. That's 8 megabytes, still pretty big. You need to do a little bit further work to shrink that down.
That includes a video too, right, Kaiwen?
Yes.
So if you take that out, it's not so bad.
If you take that out, you probably shrink that down to 2 megabytes. So Robbie is joining. So keep moving forward on fundraising effort. Mark, you want to take this one first, NC?
Yeah, so that's the so first North Carolina has a grant to start 3 new FRC teams in North Carolina. So they're doing one here in Charlotte, one in Western Carolina, one towards the eastern side of the state. And the grant is for an all black team. And so we've been having lots of discussions with them here in Charlotte. We're connecting them with the right entities. So for sure, the Tuskegee Rec Center is going to be heavily involved in this. Johnson C. Smith, we're hoping will be involved in this. We're definitely wanting to focus on the west side of Charlotte, with the rec center being the focal point or the meeting point, common meeting point. So they've got also money included in this for teacher, or for, I shouldn't say teacher, might be a teacher, but for the lead mentors, and we're either hoping those are going to be, you know, college students or teachers from the local community. We had lots of discussions about, should this be a QCRA team or a community team, and based on how the grant is written, it's best that it stays a community team, at least for the first year or two. So, but we're still trying to see how we can still support it. We're excited to have, you know, the opportunity to have another team, FRC team, starting here in Charlotte. So also they're going to reach out to both Yeti and BOW to help mentor the team, support the team. So if Marie hasn't done that yet, she should be doing that here soon.
So as part of MHI, I facilitate a diversity, equity, and inclusion advisory committee. And through a roundabout way, I was talking about QCRA with one of our members and a neighbor, actually, and come to find out about something that may help identify more students on this, which is the Omega Phi Psis are a national fraternity, Black fraternity, and they are having their STEM program, their national STEM program here in Charlotte next year. And so I was connected with an engineer at NASA who's running the program here in Charlotte next year, and coordinating, because I want, you know, we want our members to be involved. A lot of our members do robotics and things like that, and the program is focused on drones next year. But this may be a way for us to participate and bring visibility to this program and give opportunities, you know, bring opportunities to light for students who are interested in STEM at that. And it's going to be July next year in Charlotte.
Can you send those information?
Yeah, that's super,
email?
Christian.
Reply to the reminder. So
so I need to reach back out to Lee and everything, but I've already been kind of working behind the scenes and on getting MHI positioned so that we're able to support it and as they need. But and getting members involved. But I think it's a great opportunity for Queen City, and then you know, for QCRA, and then even if this was a separate program that we support, to be involved.
Christian, you said that's Omega Psi, right?
Omega Pi Psi?
Yep.
The Omegas?
Yep. Excellent. I'll reach out to you a little later with that.
So we're, you know, this is just the start, we hope, of many other teams here in Charlotte, and for sure, you know, the first team they're expecting here at least 12 to 16 students, which we feel that we can easily get for the first year. But then also, you know, we definitely like to see about starting some more teams too along the same theme.
Yeah,
the same group.
Can I ask you guys on the board a quick question? I actually talked to Kai Wynn about this a little bit, and I wanted to kind of get the opinion of you guys on this. So in the past, Yeti has started a lot of teams. Quite frankly, we've started most of the FRC teams or supported these FRC teams in the area in some way. We did that through the use of our parts, our robot frames, our practice robots, our assemblies. All of that is literally based out of where we're meeting. So in the past, we did not ask a rookie team to pay to utilize the facility. So we had Sun Valley, even though they folded, we helped them. We utilized the facility, the practice field. We opened it up to practice with the team, even though that was directly using, Queen City's field. The teams that supported these rookie teams, they used all the resources they had in this way. So I wanted to kind of set a precedent and a position for our teams and kind of get your thoughts on this. So is it okay for a rookie team to use the field and some aspects of the shop when they get support through the FRC teams for their first year, and then after that we expect them to pay the normal cost that, say, T-Rex, a local team, would pay to utilize the field. I mean, how do we feel about that?
So Kywin, do you want to answer? I know Kywin and I've talked about this quite a bit too.
Yeah, so
It's a gray area for sure.
so it's gray area, and that's the reason we try to avoid. And so the other thing is, in this particular case, the two different cases. When we have a black and white rule, and as we grow, as we deploy, it's much better for us to stick with the policy when we explain to people. But we all know here's a non-volunteer organization, and we can choose how hard we want to enforce. So that, let me just pause that over there. We will say the policy is the same. At the same time, the first NC is a little bit different than we just talking about regular rookie team. So with some of the comment, they have a mention about how they want to manage this team. That is the reason I put a comment over there, like the first NC consider this a direct managed team. They have a certain way they want to run. So QCRA will stay as a very passive position in the whole dealing situation. The comment that first NC made is, we want to deal with the team directly. We don't want to have another. I think the easy way to the way I feel and the way we feel, Mark and myself on the call, the way we feel is we've been viewed as direct competition with first NC, and we don't get it. We don't understand. So that is the reason I would say QCI will not directly involve at this point. We will be passive. Regarding how flexible we want to be deal with the rookie teams, I would say the policy is the policy, but we are happy to open a direct discussion with the lead mentor of the individual team to see how we accommodate. Mark, you want to add additional detail?
Yeah, I think, we want to be fair and transparent. So, in this case, everybody, at least the Yeti and BOW, seem in favor of waiving the fee, let's say. But there might be other cases where maybe one or both, or even an FTC team might object to it. So that was our concern too, is to make sure that we're not, upsetting another team who is paying in the facility. So I guess the way I'd like to look at it here is, if it's already happening and everybody seems okay with it, can we just get at least a consensus from the other teams that it's okay for a rookie team who is being mentored and supported by the other teams, that it's okay I don't want to say waive the fee. I want to say the fee's still there, but maybe we turn it into a donation back to the team. So we say, yes, you still have to pay, but since you're a rookie team, QCRA will make a donation and be a minor sponsor, let's say, and we'll donate that money back to the team as a way of still recognizing that there's a policy there, but also then it gets us also recognized as we're donating something to the team as a sponsor.
So are you saying Queen City would donate that money in lieu of the rookie team paying for it out of their first year budget?
Right.
Yeah, so another way, just build on what Mark said. If they want to use the field, we can have a conversation. We just say, hey, here is our contribution to your team's operating budget. So we're still charging them, but they don't actually pay for.
And then we want to be, recognized as a sponsor of their team, a minor sponsor, but.
So
I like the idea. I would just maybe, it seems challenging to run this by Marie. we have a good thing going in our
I,
area.
I,
and
I
know
already
some
talked to
young
Marie
teams-
about it.
We already have a conversation with
I already
Marie.
talked to Marie about
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So is
So,
that the stance that she's agreed to?
well, so Robbie, I think it is speaking as my position, and the other board member feel free to challenge or redirect. My position is as we grow, and the harder thing to manage the organization on the growth is has a policy that change every time. So have a policy just kind of wishy-washy is very hard to execute. And that is my experience. We set a rule, set a policy as black and white as possible with no exception. And that's easiest. And another thing is I running my team in the past, they have a free pass as a rookie and they just never thinking about need to raise a grant and everything. So the second year they started seeing the bill coming in, they just fall apart. So I also think that's a good thing for us to make sure the team actually know the actual cost. Whether that's actual cash being paid out or not is different story. They have to understand the actual cost. That is how the startup company fail as well, right? I know I heard about that. I'm in that experience. So that
Yeah, and
Rich probably is in a better position to talk about. Say, is that better recognize how much it actually takes to run the business for real at year 2 and year 3. Sustainability is the problem. So that's my recommendation to the board to say we have a black and white policy, which is execute and explain as so.
Yeah,
I could not agree more with that statement, Kaiwin. Yep.
Yeah.
Christians, Paul, you got any comment?
No, it sounds appropriate.
Yeah, I agree. Just, anything we can do to get teams off the ground and started and things like that, and then figure out what kind of support we just need to run to help offset the costs and things so that it, but helping them understand that at some point they have to grow to a point where they can afford to continue going, right? It's maybe not a forever thing unless it's a team that really does need continuous support and they need to figure out, then we need to figure out how to raise that for them.
And I was going to say, Christian, that's our responsibility to try to drive some additional sponsorship supports or philanthropic support. But yes, I think the reality of what it takes to run a business, to run a cohort, that's part of life. And even though a lot of these teams have extraordinary challenges that they have to deal with on a daily, this is part of reality, and the value and the benefit that they're gaining from it has to be something that they put skin in the game too. Yep.
Stacy, Christian?
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that.
Agree. Yeah.
So Robbie, I did, float the idea to Marie that maybe we could, because we were clear with her that there was a fee. But then, seeing the email chatter about, maybe, the rookie team, we should, help them out. I did suggest to her that maybe we could donate the money back to the team. So it's a wash for them, but that we also then be recognized as a sponsor, and her response was positive about that. So.
Okay. I would strongly advise this. I mean, I'm sure you guys are trying pretty hard. I don't want to be seen as a, competitive resource to First North Carolina. Like we ran into that before, like for grants and whatnot. I just don't understand how we're so misaligned on that. It just, any way we can mitigate that in the future. I know that we're probably better off now than we have been in the past, but that just hurts my soul to hear that. We're both trying to get the same thing here.
Yeah. So agree.
Okay. So part of the thing, the reason the first NC is listing on the fundraising line item was originally, we believe first NC will push the grant through our direction, but that is not true. that is not the current understanding after the discussion. With that said, we are, because so we are going to stay as a passive engaged from the QCRA standpoint. As how QCRA always operate is we allow the team to run independently. So we are not going to interfere or direct the team how they want to support and or engage with the new teams. We will let the first NC to spell out the ground rule and how to do engage. But QCRA is going to, as usual, our position is we love to have more teams, and we try to make sure that there's more team grow in Charlotte. However, we can do, and we don't want to take anybody off. We don't want to be viewed as competition. So I think in my direction, my recommendation and how I'm going to behave is I'm going to stay as passive as possible. First NC can draw us in whenever they want, and we will support to our full extent. And we have expressed that opinion, that comment, me directly, and even more times from Mark to Maureen. So we are going to put a period on that particular project and wait until they pull us in, and then we will engage at that time. Okay, so hopefully that's okay with everybody. With that said, Gretchen, I know she is continuing work with Lowe's, but I don't think we have update this month. Just jump to Stacy. Stacy has a conversation with Piedmont Lithium and IEG. Stacy, could you update the board a little bit?
Yeah, so I talked to Patrick. He's the vice president over there. And I sent an email to Melissa, our contact, last week. I see that she's read the email. She has not yet responded. I think I sent that Thursday or Friday. It's Monday now. Give her till like Wednesday, I guess, and I'll follow up again and see if I can get her to reach back out to me. If I have to, I'll call Patrick. IEG is a little tougher. I saw that one of the bills over there has read my email, and I will do the same. I'll follow up again with them to see about sponsoring or donating or however they would like to engage.
Okay, so Stacy is really taking the full energy, pushing that forward for us, and I have assured some of the things we can do, but based on the resources we have available. So next item, I did ask the comment asking for approval last time. There's additional detail as I discovered more things through the months. Originally, I was saying that we want to set up FLR Explorer program for general public, so people actually pay to join. What I'm for those you may not know what the FLR is Explorer program is, you using the Lego Spike kit. The student has a 12-hour curriculum. They actually the first actually have a program to talk about every hour. This is what you're supposed to go through. Really straightforward. The format is similar as junior achievement in classroom teacher. I don't know have anybody volunteer in that before. The long story short is it has a very structural information to go through, and you pay the registration. The student has a chance to join the exhibit. However, I also find there are other programs similar and with a free resource you can pull and download, still using the Lego kit to work on, to teach the student go through, actually become an after-school program. So the request here is to support the approach, utilize a contract part-time worker, and we are going to supporting the revenue and generating program. It will literally like an after-school program. the way I see is it may not view as a competition, robotic competition program, but I see that it's still fully aligned with our mission. And I see there's nothing wrong for us to relieve the parents so their kids can go there and join the after school program, so they can take a break, go have a coffee for 1 hour. For all of us as kids, before we know that 1 hour is go by fast, but it's really, really great recharge. The idea is what I want to put that in the recreation center is number one reason is we want to bring the program close to the student where they actually live. And hope we can reduce as much transportation issue as possible. Okay. They also give us a separation about this revenue generating program versus the regular program that we have in the zone. The reason being is we already have mentor making a comment. That's 1 out of 80 mentor. So you can say that's minority, but there are people talking about say, if you pay one, you pay everybody. There's no way we can do that, right? And it doesn't make sense either. By having the program outside QCRA, is the benefit, number one benefit, as I mentioned, that would be a key we're talking about, is really reduce the constraint on the transportation. But it also has this added benefit, is a separate program, is a separate business model. We really want to use this one to generate revenue, eventually have this revenue stream come back to pay for the administration costs, including the administration costs to running the zone. Okay. So we will say the contract personnel were limited to a high school senior, college student, and public school teachers. They are the people who is going to qualify to be contract. And what I am going to do is I'm going to reach out a teller, which I have mentioned last month. Robert Bales is the CPA. We are switching our attorney to Robert. With better interaction, they have better response. Also, they are doing the similar accountant work for other nonprofit organizations. So I think that's better fit with us. The charge is approximately $200. I think you guys probably is going to tell me and say, Kyle, you don't need to ask for approval of $200. I just want to put that out there to say, hey, we are going to spend the money. Who knows what is going to happen? But I think it's better for us to have this legal document set up with them and push forward. And with knowing that we might have similar conversation like we just had earlier, talking about, say, is this appropriate and everything? So I want to make sure everybody, I've got a blessing for everybody to say, this is the right thing to do. Okay. We want to start hiring people. And that we will engage in the future some of the conversations to say, it feels like the volunteer and the paid personnel are doing the same job, but one is get paid, one is not. And I do have that trouble to, I do think that over and over again to say how we want to handle that conversation in the future. I think the only way we can do is, which is a flat out say, when you take the task, you know you are a volunteer. And true, there are some people might get paid to do the same thing. You have a choice. And we just have to honor the choice. Because what I'm saying is, if you look at FTC team, FRC team, their lead mentor are all volunteer right now, which is also the number one problem we have to create more teams down the road, because majority of people, the growth of the team is higher and is going to be faster than we can find a volunteer to be a lead mentor. So once we start doing this, what I see is the lead mentor, their job is basically show up every time they meet. They just make sure a student is doing something productive. They don't have to be the smartest person in the room. They don't even have to have a technical background. They just, the job is pushing forward. So a college student can do that, right? Just mainly make sure the student don't hurt themselves. College student can do that. And if we hire a college student as a lead mentor down the road, then we open up to has a much higher growth, because all other position, all other mentor, as long as we be able to make sure every time they meet, we have a 2-person show up. And because they pay, I expect they show up, right? I can actually force. If it was a volunteer, the QCRA or the FRC team or FTC team, the robotic team will not be their first priority. I was that way, I know that, right? But if it is paid job, it's much easier for us to put the demand. So once we start going that one and down the road, we are going to see pretty easy to see the volunteer mentor is going to have the same job as the paid mentor or paid volunteer. The two term we can change back and forth. So I want to just post that out. And I think that's the best way for us to have a positive revenue and grow and serve the community. Comment, concern, question?
Well, I think how this is different too is that we're actually offering this as a after-school program, and that it's a paid, people pay, parents are going to pay to have their children there. So I think it's a little different also in that way. And then the other thing too is just to also comment, I mean, I think that, the demand is there. We're definitely, getting feedback that this is a program that's being asked for. I know it's also very successful already in the Raleigh area. For something very similar to this is very successful ongoing in Raleigh.
That's great. I didn't realize that, but I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me. I think it's a great way to expand our reach and get to new potential.
Mm-hmm. The farm league.
Yeah, exactly.
Grow them early.
And the differentiation makes sense to me as to why we would pay these individuals and not others.
Christians, Paul, you have any comment?
No, I'm fine. It makes sense to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so one thing, just bear in mind why I make this such a big deal and to bring the board to make sure everybody understand my concern is we have the STEM program now. We are using a student to teach, right? So as we move forward with the STEM program, we move forward that we want to set up more team, assume we are going to be, not assume, we will make that successful with the CMS. We start working with them. So we are talking about we're setting up more FTC team, either in school or around the school. The growth is going to easily, I predict the growth is easily going to outstrip our capability to find the lead mentor to be willing to spend so much time. So we will, with the trajectory we are growing, this will be an issue. So my position, so everybody understand, my position is if I have too many complaints from the lead mentor to say, hey, how come I'm not getting paid? I say, well, here's an agreement. You either can apply to see if you can qualify to have the job, or if you really think about we are not fair, and I'm sorry, we have to go our separate way.
Yeah, I agree. And I think also too, we could, for me, it's also for the senior high school and the college student, it's a work-based learning opportunity for them also.
Hmm.
So, and I think that those are in demand also, and businesses are expected to support that in some way. And then, I know from starting, the team I did start back earlier, T-Rex team, it was a school-based team, and we originally had 2 teachers as the lead mentors. They did it for the first year. The second year, they said, "Sorry, I'm a teacher. I don't get paid a lot. I gotta find a second job, and I can't do the mentoring of the team." So I think there's a justification in my mind, at least, that we should pay a teacher to help do this. I think they would do it then too.
Mm-hmm. Do we think we'll lose a lot of great mentors if they get wind of this eventually?
I don't think so.
I don't think
think
so.
a lot.
Yeah.
I think we could lose one or two who is spending a lot of time right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And we are also in the position. One thing I learned in the nonprofit world is just because we're asking for volunteer, it does not mean we don't screen in the volunteer, right? We still have to pick and choose. So some of the volunteer that actually will hurt us, that we need to move away. So is an uncomfortable choice, an uncomfortable situation, but I see that as no different than how I lay people off and fire people in the past. Sometimes you just have to do that for the greater goods. Just on the lighter side, I quit my old job because I don't like to do that. Now I'm doing this. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay, so I believe I have support for all the board member on the call.
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I will sound like a broken record because I anticipate this uncomfortable conversation is going to come up, and I just want to make sure I will seeking you guys' support. I will handle that complaint, but eventually I probably is going to say the board agreed this. So that's our position, and you can make any decision you want.
Mhm.
Okay, uncomfortable thing done. Move forward. So with the rest of 15 minutes,
I guess
want to talk
maybe
a
maybe
little
just
bit.
one other thing on the doing that whole program, just make sure everybody understands. I don't know, maybe I missed you said it, Kai Wen, but I mean, we expect that will be generate some income and some profit. I mean, I don't know if you emphasize that
Revenue.
revenue. Yeah.
I
That we
think
can-
the proper term to use for nonprofit situation is revenue.
Revenue. So it'll pay for itself and some. Yeah.
That is the goal. And I will bring the update back as I don't have a good number right now, but I'm thinking about it probably is $300 for the parent to pay to join the program, 12 to 16 hours program. It is market price that I believe we will have at least 40% margin that can put back to admission. And so the cost, there's a 40% margin can go back to become allocate as an administration cost. So to support the overhead. Okay, it's not pure profit. It's really, we need to build a fund for the pay position down the road. Okay, so joint state initiative, I want to just mention a little bit. It's kind of a little bit disappointing that we really don't have any good update, which is an update itself. Okay, we have run this STEM roundtable. That is how we get to build a lot of network. We have somewhere around 50 or 60 people. Is because we facilitate STEM roundtable. We got to get to know, and we're building a lot of network. We're happy to do that. At the same time, we have the podcast. But with all this event, as you can see early on, there's a lot of things that's going on. It exhausts all my time. So I have not been able to produce one more podcast since the one we did for Bosch. That probably is a month ago. I still have a lot of recording we want to push forward. At the same time, we move the STEM roundtable. Andrea Spoon White, who just happened also be a volunteer on BOW, and she wanted to take over and try to drive the STEM roundtable. I think there was some internal conversation, but not a whole lot external. Mark, you want to add anything that I might miss?
Yeah, Andrea's trying to take a very systematic approach to defining, the the purpose, the mission, vision, strategy, how to go forward. So it's taking some time to work through that with the core, what do you call it? The core roundtable group, the
core team.
The core team, yeah, with the core team. So, and the last event we had though that was open to everybody was the tour and the demonstration out at the Carolina Museum, Aviation Museum. So hopefully we can get something else going here yet this year with the bigger group. So not to lose everybody's interest in that.
Okay, so as part of things, the resource is the challenge. We can do more with Andrea if we have more volunteer. I think that's long story short. We will have another conversation with the CMS-CT on Thursday, and make a very long story very short. We try to convince them to say, hey, FTC teams in or around the school can help students to get interest about STEM education and use that to pull the CT and learning opportunity. We will bring the more detail back to the board probably next time. I want to scroll a little bit, move forward with the rest of 10 minutes and talk about Giving Tuesday campaign. So I hope everybody received the newsletter from Teresa yesterday. It was sent out yesterday noon. What we find out is the click rate, the open rate is highest if we send out on Sunday. That a lot of people seems like they read that one before when they prepare for Monday. So we got a good click rate. And last time, so Gretchen probably heard about this, that the pioneering skirts don't have as high registration as we hope. One of the problem, I think one of the cause in my belief is last time we did not say that correctly. So the email did not go out on Sunday. It go out on Monday. And we got a 7% drop.
I am not getting any of those emails. What's the address that they come from?
It comes, so you should see the email says
Yeah, I'm not getting
Teresa Mount, from Teresa Mount.
Also, we got to look this up, but I think click rate is no longer a good metric.
Yes.
Because Apple blocked all click-throughs.
Yes.
So you can no longer see click rate. So if you're, what's the percentage of people that open emails on Apples at this point?
Yeah, but
pretty high.
Yes, I'm also looking for the click-through, the registration rate.
The last one I got from her was in July. So I need to add her to my contacts.
Okay, I just found it in my junk mail. Okay, shoot.
You have it there, yeah.
Yeah, so yesterday's subject is watch a movie.
Yep.
I received
That's
it.
from Teresa Mount. The challenge is because that's out of HASPA. So you will see HASPA-free.net, something. With that said, let me come back to the discussion that I originally was on, is we started pushing out the Giving Tuesday campaign. The Giving Tuesday is November 30th. So we want to use this newsletter, start sending information. There we have 3 social media channel that I am managing, is Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Okay, we don't have Instagram. These 3 is already a lot to manage, but that's where we are going to go. So we will asking all the board of directors help to pushing the information out for anybody who might looking for the tax deduction approach for their income tax at the end of the year. Maybe we are a good target for them to put the money where their money is to see if we can help them to lower their tax return. What we are doing in addition to all this campaign to talk about we are good cause, we try to drive. I need to follow up with Dave. We want to have a video recording for all the board members, talk about why we think the things we try to do is a good cause, and why we think that they're bring a positive impact to the community. Dave is going to lead that effort. I need to check with him, see how he want to move that forward. With the whole communication, we are setting a goal of $15,000 to raise, and that's a number really draw from the facility upgrade type of plan. We're just thinking about when that coming is either $15,000 we can use to upgrade our air handling, air conditioning unit, or we pay that one and we need the $15,000 to go support operation costs. Long story short, we have a use of $15,000. So I set that as a goal. One thing we also want to give is, you can see this t-shirt. Let me see if I can blow it up. So that's how the t-shirt look like. God staying in the front, and Paul is engaged in this conversation with me and Teresa. I'll try to figure out. So we can make this t-shirt, we can do a fulfillment one by one, individual order, so we don't have to carry the inventory. The t-shirt is going to cost us somewhere around $15 or a little bit higher, less than 20 for sure, even including the shipping and handling. So if the proposed is like $40 seems like a good magic number, people might still willing to pay for a $14 t-shirt for good cause. So you can see on the side, the back, and we decided we change the design to save $2.50 to just have a sleeve logo. So you can see God stain and see our names over here. The other side is also nothing, so we all have these two. That's the t-shirt. We say, if you donate up to $40, you can say, hey, I'd like to have a gift too. But if you don't want to give, we just don't send you a t-shirt, and that will have $40 net donation. Or you can donate as much as you want. Then, since your number is high enough, then you can ask him for a gift, and we just send you a t-shirt as well.
I don't want to be a pain about this, but I really loved Paul's son's idea about having the CAPTCHA logo. I feel like that's so quirky. That his idea was to have like, I'm not a robot, and you have to select the images. And I could see that being something that would like it's related to QCRA, but I could see people want, like, I would want that. I think it's funny, and I think other people would. Sorry, something just dropped in the other room that sounded concerning. So I think this is fine, but I would, I don't think it will get people to, like, it won't have the effect of getting people to donate more and more to get the t-shirt. I don't know how everyone else feels about that, but that's just my point of view.
So the challenge is, we don't have people know how to build an e-commerce site yet. Okay, and the other thing is the design, the CAPTCHA, those work. Right now, among all the volunteers, I'm the only one can do this, know how to do this. So if we got the volunteers to help us to design and load everything, we can create another one. Okay, the print on demand now is really fancy. And so we can do that. This is, so we have a conversation just really straightforward as that match with our mission. And we're just thinking about, say, we have a capability, why don't we just create a gift?
Yeah,
nice to
I
have.
will not die on this hill, but I don't know what tool or what resource you're using, but you can use Bonfire and print one at a time. I think that the cost is about the same.
It's the same. It's
The
the
same.
same. It's the same. Is the thing is how to make sure the pictures on the t-shirt is right. So there's a lot of things to work with the print-on-demand site.
Okay.
It's not, so there are other things. So we choose, and I just tired as a, I cannot keep working on that. So we
Yeah.
decided to have this. So the choice right now, what we actually have is like, we can maintain the gift and manually fulfill the order.
Mhm.
Teresa is going to do that. For everything else we want to do is we just have the total long term. We will not be able to finish that design and getting going on time. So the problem is not about which idea is better.
Okay.
The problem is more like by November, this is all we can generate.
Okay.
Yeah. So Gretchen's, I like what Paul sounds his idea as well. I just cannot make it happen fast enough.
Okay.
It's everything else that's going on.
Okay. I understand
So-
that. And I would say I could do it, but I know that if I say that, I will not stick to it.
Hey, Taiwan,
If you-
you
Yeah.
may remember I introduced you to a guy named Steve,
Yeah.
who does this kind of stuff. How much time, what's our drop dead date for?
to make sure. So if we want to order and see, make sure they print and make sure the sample is right, we passed that day already.
Yeah.
We need to order a sample. That's a problem. You say, I want to get the sample right, and because Paul, I agree with your comment. We need to order one to take a look the physical product to see if we are proud of what we have, right? So the sample will arrive next week. Then give us a 3 weeks, started showing this graphic on our advertisement to make sure everything is A-OK. If we design something right now, we won't get the sample by a week prior, the earliest, if we have a sample order ready.
I'm going to play with something real quick while we talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so the proposal right now is saying is either we have this as a gift or we forget about the gift. That's the question I'm asking right now. This is a decision is if we, so Paul and myself, we think this teacher is fine. As long as the product show up is good, then we should have this as a gift option. But if we say, no, people will donate exactly the same with or without gift, then we can save the money. Just don't give that up.
I think the second thing you said, where I'm not sure it's gonna spike the gifting, right?
Yeah, I think it has to be catchy in order to spike gifting. I don't know. I'm not saying it will spike gifting regardless, but I think to entice people to take action, it's got to be something that they're like, oh, I really want that. That's clever.
Well, I mean, we could just start with this and then change it, have it changing, doing, the next idea, the next idea.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing is it can't hurt to offer it, and people might, a lot of times what I do is I donate and I say I don't want the gift. There's like that option to
Yep. Mm-hmm.
put my full donation towards it.
Yeah. So right now, using our knowledge, using our process, what we are going to do is we will send out the information, direct people to the PayPal giving fund. That's where we receive donation. So once we will have a Google form to say, if you donate, once we confirm, if you donate more than $40, you have a choice to get one of these t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So once we see the money show up in the PayPal giving fund, then we will manually process the order to send out individually, send that to your house. Okay. So what we start seeing is we want to see how much donation we have, because once we start have everything fully automated, there's extra cost and actually knowledge to set up process to receive money in. And I ask around, we don't have existing volunteer, we don't have anybody has time and the knowledge. You need to have both, right? I'm sure there are some has knowledge, they just don't have time to set it up. So that's the reason we choose to go through a manual process.
Mhm.
So the gift is really just because we know how to do it, it's just may as well do it quickly. And that's one afternoon, we figure out. So the question is really say, do you want to keep give as an option?
Yeah, I think we should give it as an option. And people
Next-
can choose not to if they don't want.
Next time, yeah, and exactly. We don't just say, hey, you donate, so I have to send you a t-shirt. No, it's to say,
Mhm.
thank you for donation. If you want, I could offer this gift.
Mhm.
Christian, thoughts, comment, or just say, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of with. I think it's fine to offer it. Can we change it to gray?
Oh yeah, you got a gray, you got a blue.
No, so
not
there's
gray.
other color
Here's the
options.
three color. Here's the three color. I know it works, and we can put gray into as a choice. So we know the logo works from the markup. We know the logo works on blue, royal blue, sea blue, and white.
Okay.
So there's a three different color. So one of the thing is we're also experimenting this process, right? So eventually we can have a multiple kind of merchandise, and we can even have every event we can actually have a special t-shirt if we want, including a volunteer event, we can create some. So that is the idea of, that's my original idea, is to say, we want to practice, we may as well put that in use in the November Giving Tuesday event. So once we know the process we set up, then we can talk about what we want to do more down the road. Okay. So we already run out of time. I just want to show you this. Mark and myself, we each purchased this one just because when I show a meeting, I want to have a logo on me. So if you want $36 each, you do have a man and a woman's. So Gretchen, they does have a woman's polo shirt. The polo shirt itself is, what's the brand? Jay-Z something. So it's pretty common brand that people use for uniform or other event shirt. Reasonably comfortable. I don't know, have a Mark, you wear yours or not? You are mute, Mark.
Sorry. Yeah, I've worn mine. It fits. It's comfortable.
Yeah. So I wore mine to a couple events. It's kind of nice to help people to recognize I'm not just Joe, somebody from the street. So this is also individual, and I run the number to 36, regarding how you order, and is reasonable price. Okay. So this is just an offer that if you go to some event you want to represent QCI, just let me know. I can order one for you. Okay. There's some unexpected, some discussion I went through today is longer than I anticipate, but I think we went through everything A-OK. Comment, question, discussions?
I did successfully make a t-shirt that says I'm not a robot, but I want to, instead of having the CAPTCHA thing, I want to put the QCRA logo there. So I'll send that around. You can say no to it, but
The question, so the problem is we don't have the original logo. The logo we have is just JPEG file, and when you put on other pictures, you got the color bleed and everything.
Oh, the QCRA logo?
Yeah. So we don't
Okay.
have original design file. So we have all kind of problem.
Okay. Okay. Let me see what I can. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk to one of our designers and see if she can, what she can do with that.
If your designer can duplicate, and that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
your designer can duplicate the logo that work in multiple. So like back in my corporate days, we have a multiple John Deere logo. It all fits properly with the right color tone, everything, and you can overlay on a lot of stuff without causing a problem. That is not our case. Our case is somebody, I find a file somewhere and I'm asking around to say, where's the original file? I cannot find it.
Okay.
And we don't have vector graphic.
Right. Okay. I think I can solve that problem, but not the t-shirt is not that important. I just wanted to see if it was possible and how it looked. It looks good.
Yeah, there's a we have a lot of great idea. Just when we start execute, it takes 3 times as long as we anticipate.
Yeah, I understand that.
Any question? Sorry to run over for 10 minutes. Any comment, question? How is everybody think the meeting today? Do we cover good information?
Yep, a lot.
Yep.
A lot going on.
Christian, welcome.
Thanks,
Good
Paul.
job.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So thank you for everybody
Yep,
joining.
thank you.
And a very, very positive discussion going today. So appreciate it. And I will follow up with everybody for different things through the month. And otherwise, I will see you next time again and in the board meeting.
Yep, good. Good luck with the Pioneers of Skirts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Hopefully
And I'll
soon.
see you on
Please
Saturday.
join.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks.
See you guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Right.